Welcome to the Alpena Montmorency Conservation District video series. My name is John Schmitz. I'm the district manager for the Alpena Montmorency Conservation Districts. Our mission is to educate and to advise the people of both counties and to advocate for the restoration, preservation, and conservation of the natural resources. We do this through educational programs such as our Forestry Assistance Program and our CTAP program. We develop a lot of programs based on our conservation needs assessment. That is where we take the priorities of the landowners and we transform them and create priorities for the district. We do this through a survey. This year we are going to be doing a new survey that will take an effect for 2027 through 2032. One of those programs has come from our CNA or Conservation Needs Assessment. We're going to be looking today at some disclosures. You will have a chance to hear and talk with 3 different staff members that will give you some ideas of why the disclosures are there and what it's going to be telling us about the environment around. I'd like to first start with Brian Zabel, who is with the NRCS, and he's going to be talking a little bit about their impacts with these types of programs. Brian?
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Brian Zabel, and I'm a district conservationist with the United States Department of Agriculture Natural Resources Conservation Service. My agency, we work with private landowners to develop conservation plans for their property that address resource concerns and meet the goals of the landowner. Today, the property that we are at is a landowner in Alpena, Michigan. They're working with NRCS and the Alpena Montmorency Conservation District. The goals that the landowner has for the property is they would like to put more conifers on the property. Where we're at, there is a few conifers. They also want to leave the property in good condition for their grandson. And there's also a number of invasive species out here they're looking to address. To set the scene for you, in our location, about a half mile to the east of here is about 2,500 acres of fragmented cropland. To the west, the north, and the south, we're looking at over 10,000 acres of forest land.
Natural predators no longer limit populations of white-tailed deer in northeast Michigan. With so much forest and agricultural land surrounding this property, the landowner can depend on deer eating whatever is available as they move through his land.
I'm Charlie Doan with the Alpena Montmorency Conservation District. I was the former district manager at one time, and when I was the district manager, this project came about. We had a college student working with us, and she needed a project of some sort for one of her courses. So we sat down with Dr. Corris, our forester, and he said, you know, this is something I've been meaning to get to, and it'd be great if we could get these exclosures built. So we hammered out the details, we came out here and we built them. And what I want to do today is I want to show you what an exclosure is and then how we constructed it. So if you're interested in doing this sort of thing and you understand why we did it, then it's very, very easy to do. So we'll get after it. So what we did is we started with 4x4s, and there's multiple ways you can do this. That you can use T-posts, a metal T-post, a little more expensive. You can hammer them into the ground. We decided to use 4x4s, treated 4x4s and treated 2x4s. All the corners are 4x4 posts, and we took an auger in the forest floor. We took an auger and we dug a hole in the ground, and we sunk those posts about 18 to 24 inches. And then we had all the posts up, and this is a 10 by 10 structure. And then we took our fencing. This is basically 4-inch fencing. And we got little staples, and we stapled it to each of the posts. And then in the middle, notice down here we left a gap at the bottom. This is about keeping deer out of an area, not other animals like rabbits and things like that. The bovines are a lot more destructive on the forest floor than the smaller varmints. So we left a gap, you know, a couple inches to about 6 inches in certain points. But it's constructed in a way that it keeps deer from getting into the vegetation in here. Okay, so when we were putting the materials together for this cost us about $250 total with all the materials. And we built 2 of them, so it's about around $500 it cost us. You know, down at Tractor Supply, Home Depot. I think actually we bought the stuff from Home Depot. It had everything we needed: lumber, fencing, staples, hinges, things like that. I'm going to show you the entrance here in a minute. But yeah, once we got everything, all the posts set, then it was about wrapping the fencing around it, and there's not been any deer in here since.
This shows the area directly outside the deer exclosure where the deer can browse. In a few more years, the species composition of this underlayer will differ from what can grow inside the wooden posts of the exclosure.
So I wanted to point out the fact that you shouldn't lock yourself out of this structure, because you have to be able to go in and do inventory and check your results, right? So we built a simple gate here, and I wanted to point this out. It's basically a 2x4 with some brackets here on the ends, and there's hinges along the sides, and there's basically just a latch for the gate. You certainly open the gate, go in, do your inventory, come back out. It's still protecting everything from deer and bears and everything else that might be trying to get in. And this is where we're at, exclosure.
Dr. Greg Course with the Alpena Montmorency Conservation District. I run the Forestry Assistance Program, and today we are here to demonstrate the use of exclosures and understanding how your forests function and operate, and to talk about forest complexity.
Each forest ecosystem type has an inherent range of complexity, be it northern hardwoods, mixed pines, lowland conifers, etc. This complexity maintains biodiversity, provides management options, stores carbon, and provides adaptation pathways. However, many, if not most, forests have lost their complexity. Exotic organisms like emerald ash borer, selective and severe browse by ungulates, and past management have often interacted to produce forests that are more simplified and less healthy from an ecosystem perspective. This northern hardwood forest illustrates this point of loss of forest complexity. Soils data and past survey notes suggest up to 10 species of tree could have shared the overstory. Now, however, the overstory is dominated by one species, sugar maple, and the sapling layer is dominated by ironwood and ash, tree species white-tailed deer do not typically eat. What you will see here are the trees flagged, which are sugar maples. Almost all the overstory, 95% or more, are sugar maple. What you also see is no recruitment of those sugar maples either in the sapling or ground flora layer. Remember, pink flagged trees and saplings are sugar maple. How much deer are driving this forest is unknown, but likely quite a bit. Exclosures or fenced areas that exclude deer have been used in many studies to test the impact of deer browse. We have installed 2 here to demonstrate the principle, and we encourage landowners to consider installing a few on their property. Future videos will highlight other forest complexity related issues. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you again.